Hey guys, Elias here, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about everything that I think is wrong with Genshin Impact. Now, like most people, or a lot of people, I have been playing this game lately. I'm currently AR39, very close to AR40. And yes, I have been following a lot of the content creators and streamers, MTash, Tectone, Majestic Gaming, etc. And they've all sort of briefly covered this topic and whatever. But I'm going to come into it from a sort of different perspective. I'm going to say what my gripes are as a player, what I think the biggest issues of the game are as a more casual and etc. player. And I know I'm saying that while showing you a blank spreadsheet right now, but I'm going to explain it. How I would fix those issues, or what some ideas could be to sort of fix those issues. So I'm going to cover two big topics, being the Resin system and the Gacha system. Now, everyone knows these two systems are pretty controversial and pretty shitty. And I'm also going to cover a couple of smaller topics, but I'm going to go really in depth. So if you don't like the idea of this video, I'd suggest you click away now. Otherwise, this is probably going to be a long one. Now, as I've said, I am a bit more of a casual player. It's only very recently that I made this spreadsheet to keep track of what I'm doing and how I should do things and what I should be farming on what day, and I haven't even gotten anywhere close to finishing this spreadsheet yet. But I've not been doing things ultra efficiently like MTash or Majestic or Tectone. I've not been doing it super efficiently. I have myself gotten pretty lucky with the Gacha. I am not a free-to-play player. I was, but then I decided to use up one of my first-time buyer bonuses. I also purchased the battle pass because I wanted the weapon. I want the sword, which is a really freaking good sword, and the only way of getting it is the battle pass. So I'm not free-to-play, but at the same time, I'm not someone that has disposable income and can just dump thousands and thousands and thousands into the game, and I don't recommend anyone does that. MTash has gotten very sort of morally on the fence about all of this, because people are saying that he's incentivizing the gacha system and the gambling and the essentially loot boxes. Now I've not done that. I've put a bit of money in. I think the game's fantastic. Overall, the game is fantastic, and I see it as a very solid base to which the developers can add content to. And the game, for what it is right now, it is fantastic, and they're gonna keep adding to it with the next big update coming in just under a week now. But there are issues, and that's what I'm going to get into. So I'm going to go to this script page right here. Now, these are all the points that I've made. It's not really a script, they're more bullet points. I'm going to expand upon them, but you can see what I'm going to talk about as I talk about it. So the first thing I want to talk about really is the Resin system as one of the big issues. There are two big issues, and I've got a couple of other little things over here that are more niggles more than anything, but these are the two main big topics of contention, controversy, why people are hating on this game. So I'm going to get into the Resin system first. So as I've put here, the Resin system is extremely limited. You get 120 resin per day, which is supposed to go up to 160 in patch 1.1. You used it very fast. Now, there are videos, there are meme videos, there are videos of people logging on, doing their daily commissions, emptying their resin, and logging off all within 15 minutes. It is very easy. You can do your daily commissions in 10-15 minutes if you haven't got the best team, and you can run a domain 6 times in a row pretty easily, especially if you've got a really good co-op team that stay along with you for those 6 runs. Each run taking 2-3 minutes each. Yeah, you can do 12 minutes for the domains at best, and 10-15 minutes for your daily commissions. Yeah, 25 minutes, half an hour of gameplay a day. It's like the game doesn't want you to play it, which is what a lot of other people have raised as a point in other videos as well. Lastly, it's a very, very slow recharge rate. You know, it's 8 minutes per one resin. That's ridiculous. You know, it's like 15, 16 hours to replenish all your resin. So unless you're willing to spend your primer gems or your fragile resin, which I'll get to in a minute down here in the refilling section, yeah, half an hour of gameplay. If you don't want to use up any fragile resin, or if you don't have any left, or if you don't want to use up your primer gems, that's it. Half an hour of gameplay and you're done. The next point I've got here is that the resin is expensive. And what I mean by that is that resin in and of itself doesn't really have... it's sort of a currency, but you get so little of it, but then you have to spend 20 per domain, 40 on a world boss, 60 resin for a weekly boss. So, as I've said, you know, each day that's either 6 domains, which is split, which again I'll get into, 3 bosses, or you do the 2 weekly bosses. Now, I do think the 2 weekly bosses, the weekly boss being 60 resin per one is actually fair, because you can only do it every 7 days. But a point I'll raise is that if it's 60 resin for a weekly boss, why on earth is it 20 resin for a daily boss, or, you know, a boss that might take 4 to 6 hours to respawn? Why? To me, that doesn't make any sense. It's very heavily weighted on one side. You know, this is essentially 60 resin for a boss you can only do once every 6-7 days. 10 resin a day. This is a boss you could technically do, you know, if we're then in regards to the Geo hyperstays, the Animo hyperstays, the Electro hyperstays, Cryo Regicide, etc. This is a boss that you could essentially do 3 or 4 times a day on your own world, or you could go from your world to a friend's world, to a friend's world, to a friend's world, and do all of theirs, all in a row. Why on earth are these so expensive compared to the weekly bosses? Like, the weekly bosses are meant to have the best rewards, but in comparison, they're exceptionally cheap. You know, if we're talking about, if these bosses, again, the hypostasis, the Regicines, etc., if they were a once a day thing for 40 resin, then essentially you're talking 280 resin over the course of a week. Whereas this is 60 resin over the course of a week. To me, it doesn't add up. So, yeah, and I'll get to how I would change that in a second. Now, thirdly, it's restrictive. You know, you have your XP books, your Mora ley lines, your XP book ley lines, your Mora ley lines, your character ascension materials from world bosses, your weapon ascension materials from domains, your talent books from domains, your weekly crafting materials from the weekly boss. By that I mean the prototype weapon parts. And you have your artifacts. All of these out of a very limited 120 resin or 160 resin in a day. Now again, restrictive. You might need, say, I don't know, the Mist Veiled Elixirs, which I believe are on a Wednesday. But at the same time, you might want the talent books that are on a Wednesday. But so you have to decide, well, do I want the talent books more, or do I want the ascension materials more? Because especially if you're farming for the purple ascension materials, you might have to do 5 domains before you even get 1. Now, yes, you can craft them up from the greens into the blues into the purples, but you're better off just saving those in case you get another weapon that needs those the lower tier version of those materials. But you also need the talent books that are on the same day. Because, again, another restrictive element is that you can only get certain things on certain days. Now, I get that this is trying to spread things out so that you don't have too much to farm in one day. But the problem is it achieves the opposite effect. You get, you know, on one certain day of the week, you might want to farm a certain talent book, but then the ascension material, the weapon ascension material you need is also that day of the week. So you have to decide which one you want to do. And it's especially complicated if you also want to do some artifacts, which, I mean, they're probably the least important on here until about AR 40, AR 45 when you're getting golds, but still. But you might also need XP books on Mora if you've recently ranked up and you're running out of Mora and you're running out of XP books, because if you're someone like me who's basically cleared the map of chests and you've done all the quests, again, before 1.1, and you've not been doing things, you know, uber efficiently, you're going to need to run ley lines for XP books and Mora. Or even if you're just someone that wants to do the weekly challenge of the battle pass to do the 20 ley lines, you're also going to be wanting to run these. So all in all, it is incredibly restrictive. Now the last point I want to talk about is the refilling of your resin. Now fragile resin is not easy to come by later on. You may get one every, 1, 2, 3 adventure rank levels, which might take you a week. You know, especially the later ones, that might take you a week to rank up. Or you can use your Primo Gems, essentially your daily Primo Gems from your daily commissions, to refresh your resin and refill your resin completely at 120. But then you're not saving up Primo Gems as a free-to-play player. You're not saving up your Primo Gems for wishes, for 3-star weapons, or a chance at a 4-star, 5-star weapon, 4-star character, 5-star character. You're not doing that because you're using all of your Primo Gems to refill your resin. Now you get 60 Primo Gems a day, but you have to use 50 of them to refill your resin, which means you'd get one wish. Using the 10 leftover Primo Gems, you'd only get one wish every 16 days. 2 weeks and 2 days for one wish. It's crazy. So how would I fix it? There are many ways that I believe this could eventually be fixed. Now whether the developers listen to this or see this or do anything like this, I have no idea. I mean, they are raising the resin to 160, but this is like a band-aid. I mean, it's not even a band-aid, because they're not changing the recharge rate. 160 means you have a bigger pool, but it also means that pool takes longer to fill. Now, personally, I believe resin should raise as you raise adventure rank. So let's say from AR1 to AR20, it's 120 resin per day. AR20 to 25, it's 160 resin a day. 25 to 30, 200 resin a day. AR30, 35, 240 resin. And then maybe AR45 onwards, it caps out at, I don't know, 320, 360 resin. And you know, for those maybe at like ultra end game, which I believe is like AR60, you know, it could cap out at, I don't know, 480. I'm just saying, this is just a, you know, an idea, an example. But again, the more you raise the resin, if the recharge rate isn't changed, you know, it's going to take you 4 or 5 days to replenish your 480 resin at AR60. You know, or your 240 resin at whatever I said, AR25 or whatever, yeah, or AR30. So what I would do is half the recharge rate. So at the moment, I believe it's 8 minutes per resin. Cut that down to 4 minutes. Instead of it taking 2 hours and 40 minutes to be able to do one domain and, you know, recharge 20 resin. So 2 hours 40 minutes to get 20 resin to do one domain, it would be an hour, just over an hour. You do a domain, you wait an hour, you can do another domain. I think personally, in my opinion, that's a lot better. So not only would I have the resin cap raising as you go up in adventure rank, so let's say every time you go up a world level, you get 20 to 40 extra resin added to your cap. And it recharges once every, and as a flat rate for everyone, it recharges once every 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes. Already a lot of these problems wouldn't be a problem. Secondly, as I've said in the restrictive section, just have everything available every day. Like there are a lot. All of those domains or dungeons that are just sat there doing nothing after you ran them once for your, Mondstadt Shrine of Depths keys or your Leeway Shrine of Depths keys, those are sat there doing nothing with nothing to do in them. Open them up, shove some of the daily talent books or weapon ascension materials or whatever into them. Use them. They are there. Use them. Give people more of a choice of what they want to farm on what day. I don't want to come in on Wednesday and think I have to farm Mistveiled elixirs, but I also need to farm, Guides of Resistance. And for the fragile resin, either give them out more frequently, or if they're going to stay as rare as they are, make fragile resin replenish your resin. 120 or whatever, up to whatever cap, because the higher you go in AR, the harder they are to obtain, and the less you'll get them. So just have them replenish your resin cap, like if you used your daily Primo Gems. So again, raise resin cap when you raise world level, half the recharge rate, and spread out the XP, the talent books and weapon ascension materials over the course of the week. Or just put them into different domains so you don't have to farm certain things on certain days. Now, as for people that are probably going to talk about the XP books and the talent books being a non-issue, let me show you this. So this is my current. These are all my current characters. These are all the characters I have. So yes, I've gotten pretty lucky. I have nearly all of the 4 stars that are currently out. I mean, I have added Diona and Xinyan on there, but ignore them. The only 2 4 stars I'm currently missing are Beidou and Chongyun. And I have gotten lucky with 5 stars in the fact that I have Klee and Mona. Now, Venti, Zhongli and Child are currently unavailable, which means really I only need Diluc, Jean, Kaching and Chi-Chi. So I've gotten pretty lucky. For the amount of money that I've spent, I'm actually quite happy. And I haven't spent a lot. But going back to these characters, I've only just managed to get them up to level 70 after days of doing the XP ley lines, the XP book ley lines. Now, even at AR 40, I believe you only get 3 or 4 purple books, or the Hero's Wit per ley line. But you also get a bunch of Adventurers' experience tomes, which equate to about another 1, maybe 2 Heroes' Wits in regards to the amount of XP they give. Now so this looks okay, like 140 resin to get Mona up to level 70, if I didn't have the Mora or the books, and then these ones, like, 140 resin, to get Sucrose from 44 to 50 if I didn't have the books, I didn't have the Mora, which I currently do, but there was a point when I didn't. So let's talk hypothetical. Let's say I get to AR 40, which is very close for me, and I immediately ascend all my characters so that they can unlock level 80. They then need 81 Heroes Wit to get up those 10 levels, and Mona only being at level 67, so technically she couldn't do it anyway, but this is a hypothetical. She would need 100 Heroes Wits. This is, altogether, this is like 100 and something ley lines worth of experience books. Each 420 resin. This is each multiple days of resin if I didn't have a single XP book. Which is the case for some people and was the case for me. Again, and then Mora. Again, we're looking at well over 1 million Mora. And without quests and events and things like that, there isn't a decent way of getting Mora. There just isn't, without doing the ley lines. So here, again, subtotal resin to get my characters from 70 to 80 before we even talk about ascension materials, i.e. running the bosses. This is, what's this, like just over 2,000 resin? That's more than you need for the weekly battle pass, and even that's a bit of a scam right now. So this is ridiculous. You know, like 4.8 days, 4.8 days, 4.8 days, 5.8 days. This is crazy. 5 days each character. You know, this is the best part of a month just to get my characters from 70 to 80. Hence why I'm farming the experience book ley lines now, so that I don't get completely screwed over when I get there. For character talents as well, like this is my current one. This is my actual current stats. So as you can see here, my traveller, basic attack talent, currently level 4, next level 5. I need 6 books, but I need 9 books to get it from level 5 to level 6. So I need 15 books. That's 7 domains, each giving 2 books. I need 21 books to max out his E talent. That's 11 domains. 21 for his Q talent. 11 domains. Now, Noelle, I have managed to max her out crazily. But like Klee, I need 9 for her basic attack, 15 for her E, 15 for her Q. I haven't actually even done Mona yet because I've only just actually... I've only just got her to level 70. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I've actually, yeah, whoops, that's my bad. There we go. Well, I've not completely worked this out yet, but you know, it's essentially like 19, I believe, for this one, and 21 for 21 for this one. So I need 21 books for Mona. I need 19 books for Mona there, and I also need 19 books for Mona here as well. Like altogether I need what, 50 something, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 130 odd talent books just to max out the talents of my main team. We're talking what, 70, 65, 70 domains at 20 resin a pop. You know, that's just not possible. I can't farm this while I'm also farming, you know, the experience ley lines, the Mora ley lines, the ascension materials. It just can't, you know. So that's why resin needs to be changed. All right, went on a little bit of a tangent there, but it just helps explain my points a little bit more. So now I'm going to move on to the gacha system. Oh boy. Holy cow, is the gacha system expensive. So if you use up your first time buyer's bonus, it's £100 or $100 because they're both the same. They both are the same. You can literally just swap the currency symbol. This is due to tax rates and stuff. And I know that for a lot of like Eastern European players, South Africa, like South African, South America, Asian people, Asian players, the prices were hiked due to Apple's App Store policy. So MiHoYo just sort of did a baseline price increase across everywhere, which severely impacted those players. But I don't mean to push you out at all if you are from one of those countries and watching this. But I'm going to focus on the American and the UK or European players. So if you've used up your first time buyer's bonus, £99.99 or $99.99 will give you 8,080 Primo Gems. Now you need 1,600 Primo Gems for a 10 pull. Those 8,000 Primo Gems will give you 50 pulls and leave 80 Primo Gems over to incentivize more spending. Because I know a lot of people, myself included, if I see 80 Primo Gems sat there, I will want to buy a £2 pack or a £5 pack to do a couple more wishes until I have 0 left on there. Luckily, I've managed to control myself and be able to learn to control my urge to spend. Because I've been burnt in the past on mobile games and gacha games and other such games. So I can, you know, I can hold myself, you know, I can control myself. Other people can't. Having that 80 Primo Gems left over will probably want, you know, they'll think, oh, I've got 80 left, I only need 80 more for another wish. I'm going to spend some more money. Anyway. Not that I'm trying to downplay that, because it's a huge issue and many people have said that this is predatory, but, you know, I've still got a lot to get through. So as I've just said, 8,000 Primo Gems is 50 pulls. However, you are only guaranteed a 5-star after 90 pulls. 14,400 Primo Gems. Now I believe you get 14,400 Primo Gems, or very close to 14,400 Primo Gems, if you buy a £99.99 package with the first time buyer's discount, or the bonus rather, not discount. But after that, you're paying £100 or $100 for 50 pulls, but 90 pulls for a guaranteed 5-star. Now that could be a character or that could be a weapon, depending on the banner. So that means you essentially have to pay or buy 2 of the $99.99 bundles for a guaranteed 5-star. That's $199.98 for a guaranteed 5-star character in this game. Now yes, people are going to say, that's Gacha, it's Gacha, that's how Gachas work, blah blah blah, you know, you have to be willing to spend, yada yada yada. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. $199.98 for a guaranteed 5-star. Now yes, you might get a 5-star on your very first pull. The chances of that happening though are very slim. Ridiculously slim. Most players are going to have to spend the initial $99.99 or a following $199.98 in order to guarantee a 5-star. And again, that could be a character or that could be a weapon. If League of Legends started changing their pricing scheme so that any champion that was 6,300 blue essence started costing $199.98, I think the world would be up in arms. Just a bit of I've forgotten the word. Screw it. Context. So, but if we're looking at 4 stars, let's say no one cares about 5 stars. You know, all the content creators already said, oh, 5 stars don't matter. You can make 4 stars work. Don't buy into it, etc. Okay. Okay. With the first time buyer's bonus, $14.99 is the smallest bundle you can get in order to do a 10 pull for a guaranteed 4-star. And again, guaranteed 4-star could be weapon, could be character. $14.99 with the smallest bundle. With the first time buyer's bonus. Without the first time buyer's bonus, you're going to have to spend $28.99 in order to get the 1,600 Primo Gems. Because the $28.99 bundle, I think, is like 980 Primo Gems plus 980 Primo Gems bonus or something. Or it's a little bit more than that. Either way. This is crazy. Again, if League of Legends made a 4,800 blue essence character, like I believe Lissandra, cost $28.99, again, the players would be up in arms. But because this is Gacha, this is totally acceptable. It's Gacha, get over it. Yeah, no, I'm not buying it, sorry. Secondly, following on, bad rates. 0.6% rate for 5-star character outside of the banner character or rate up. And with the rate up or the banner character, like the Klee banner for example, is 1.6%. That means out of every 100 pulls, you have 1.5 chances, or 1 chance and 6/10 of a chance to get Klee on the guarantee on the banner character, like for example Klee. This basically means that you're going to have to do your 90 wishes. You're essentially going to have to do your 90 wishes in order to get Klee. However, again, you might not even get a character. You could get a weapon instead. depending on the banner and depending on what's in the banner. Secondly, if you don't get the banner character on your 90th wish, you're guaranteed to get them when you hit your next 90 wishes. So if you wanted 100% guarantee that you get Klee, you know, you absolutely adore Klee, you adore her playstyle, you love her, you absolutely must have her, you're gonna need to put in, or at least think to yourself in your head, I might need to put down 180 wishes worth of Primogems to get Klee. And we have already said that it's 90 pulls for 199.98 on average. There's obviously some left over which will carry forward, but this is just to make things easier. So if we're talking 180 wishes to guarantee, 100% guarantee that you get Klee, you're going to have to buy 2 times 99.99. You're going to have to buy 4 99.99 packs. So we are now talking 398.97 or whatever. Basically £400 or $400 for your 180 wishes to guarantee that you get Klee, for example. £400 or $400 to guarantee a 2D anime lolly girl. I mean, this is the only gacha game that I've played where the rates are this bad. Now, I will say that there are not many characters. I think right now there's let's just have a quick look. So once Zhongli, Child, Diona and Xinyan come in, there'll be 26 characters. That's not a lot of characters for a gacha game. However, £400 or dollars to guarantee one of them? I mean, come on. If people don't see that, you know, that this is disgusting, I don't know what to say to them. Like, I mean, some gacha games have some pretty damn good rates, you know. Not only that, but you can play some of these other gacha games completely free to play. They give out a 5-star banner wish every week. They give out 4 stars twice a week. They have events for 4 stars, 5 stars, free characters, loads of free wishes. And yes, that might trail off once you've got invested in, you know, once you've started properly playing the game and you've been playing for a couple of months. But you know, there are some gacha games that I've played that I've got a whole team of 5-star characters and I've never put a cent into the game. For that to happen in Genshin Impact, no. Even if I re-rolled 20 times, I doubt that would happen. Now, a problem that's inherent with gacha is that you have no choice. You know, it's loot boxes, it's random, it's fruit machine, you insert your money and you could get crap. As I've said here, you could get one of each character and be really lucky and get one of each character, or you could get 20 of the same character, or you could get no characters and only get weapons. And I think that's a problem. You know, I would have much preferred if this game had, again, the League of Legends style storefront. You know, even if it had been Klee cost £30, Chi-Chi cost £30, Diluc cost £45. You know, I've played freemium games. You know, I've played World of Tanks where I have spent £40 on a tank, on a premium tank. And honestly, it might still be shitty and it might still be shady, but I would rather spend £35 or £40 to guarantee that I get a character than spending maybe 4, 5, 6, 700, if not thousands, to then get that character. Whew, right, I need a drink. Lovely, right. Let's continue. Next up, I'm going to talk about constellations. Now, most of the content creators I've seen will argue You don't need the constellations. 4 stars can perform as better as 5 stars. A 4 star with 1 constellation beats a 5 star no constellation, etc. Okay, fair enough. The problem is that they're there, in my opinion. You know, constellations are passive bonuses that can make characters godlike OP. You know, I got exceptionally lucky in the Klee banner, and I got a fuckload of Noelles. In fact, I got so many Noelles that I maxed out her constellation, and now I'm actually just getting Star Glitter when I get her. And Star Glitter is another thing I'm going to get into in a second. You know, her ultimate now gives her 120% of her defense as attack damage. She is my main DPS. She is the character that I've used to get the hit 20,000 critical damage achievement. You know, she is completely busted with her max constellation. The problem is that you have to just get lucky or whale in order to get these constellations. And most people will have most characters with no little, you know, 1 constellation or 0 constellations. You know, as I've said here, you have to invest into the gacha system to unlock constellations. They are completely luck based, and you have no choice to unlock constellations by other means outside of the 2 monthly rotating characters in the Star Glitter shop. And again, I'm going to cover Star Glitter in a second. There needs to be a way to get constellations without spending money, and outside of 2 monthly characters, 2 monthly rotating characters in the Star Glitter shop. Not to mention that I have yet to see a 5-star character in the Star Glitter shop. They've only been 4 stars. So the only way of getting constellations on 5-star characters right now is to whale. Or get really lucky. So in my opinion, either remove them, if no one's going to be able to use them anyway, either remove them and just give the characters those bonuses from the get-go, in which case the game is probably going to need to have some rebalancing because most characters are going to be downright OP, or give us a way of getting them without whaling, basically. You know, put more characters in the Star Glitter shop. Put them all in the Star Glitter shop, but have a monthly cap of 1 per character or something. I don't know. That would be a start, in my opinion. Have every character available, have 5 stars for, you know, even if it's, I would say even if it's ridiculous, like 50 Star Glitter, but to be honest, the 34 Star Glitter for a 4-star character as is pretty ridiculous. So, I've mentioned it a few times already, let's talk about Star Glitter. Again, you have to invest in the gacha to get Star Glitter. You're only going to get Star Glitter from duplicate 4 and 5 stars that you already own. And I believe weapons give them anyway, but when you unlock a new character, it doesn't give you Star Glitter. You only get 2 rotating characters per month in the Star Glitter shop, and they each cost 34 Star Glitter. Now, as I've already mentioned, the only way to get Star Glitter is by getting duplicate 4 and 5 stars. So 34 Star Glitter is 17 duplicate 4 stars if you're also unlocking that character's constellations. Or it's 7 duplicate 4 stars if you've got a character that has maxed out constellation. So for me, for example, if I get an Amber, I will get 1 constellation for Amber, and I will get 2 Star Glitter. If I get another Noelle, because I've maxed Noelle out already, I will just get 5 Star Glitter as a consolation prize, basically. So if I get 7 Noelles, I will get my 34. I'll actually have 35 Star Glitter. But if I keep getting Ambers, I'm only going to get 12 Star Glitter. You know. Also, the wishes, the feints, cost a ridiculous 5 Star Glitter each. So I am paying 1 duplicate 4-star character to get a wish. I think that's too expensive. You know, so essentially, you'd have to spend 50 Star Glitter on wishes to get a guaranteed 4-star drop, because that would be 10 wishes. 10 wishes would be 50 star glitter, or 10 fates would be 50 star glitter. And that would only guarantee you a 4-star character, which might not give you any star glitter, might give you 2, or it might give you 5. So essentially you're just throwing away, best case scenario, you're throwing away 45 star glitter. Unless, of course, again, you get ultra lucky and you happen to unlock a 5-star character that you don't have. But honestly, I would not recommend spending your star glitter on the fates, on the wishes. I wouldn't recommend it. You know, I've put it here, a lot of people have not even owned 50 star glitter even since release. Now again, I've put some money on the game. I have owned 70 star glitter at this point, and I've got 35 right now. Also because I kept getting duplicate Noels. Now, almost, finally, Stardust. There is no option to buy a character for Stardust. Now, I sort of understand why this is, because you get Stardust from the 3-star drops in the banner, which is going to be about 99% of what you drop, what gets dropped in the banner. When you wish, you know, 99% of what it is going to be 3 stars, and you get 15 Stardust every 3-star you get. So it's relatively easy to come by, especially in regards to star glitter. But the fact of the matter is that Stardust right now is used for buying the 5 monthly permanent banner wishes and the 5 time limited banner wishes. You know, I don't think it's a good purchase to buy monster drops with them. And the only other thing that I would maybe say is okay is Mora. And then if push come to shove really, really badly, maybe the XP books. But then again, you only get 3, and it's not the hero's wits you get with 20k experience. It's 3 of the adventurer's experience, which is only 5k each. So you're spending 8 Stardust for 15,000 character experience, which, you know, that's up to you to decide, but I wouldn't recommend buying anything else. You know, focus on the wishes, and then if you absolutely need it, the Mora and the XP books. Whew. Damn, this is going on. This is like a proper rant. This is Jesus. Okay. Now, I sort of did this shitty little calculation. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's like a very pessimistic worst case scenario. So this is the free Primogems. Now again, this is for someone that's cleared out all the chests, done all the story quests, done everything, you know, is maybe stuck on the adventurer's book thing, etc. You know, you get 60 Primogems a day through commissions. So it takes you 3 days to get a single wish, which I already think is pretty bad, especially compared to some gacha games. And this will also leave you with 20 leftover Primogems. So it'll be 24 days before you get an extra wish with those leftover Primogems. Obviously 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 160. So you will be able to do 1 10 pull for a guaranteed 4-star character or item every 27 days. Essentially a month. From daily commissions. So this isn't including Spiral Abyss floors, this isn't including your adventure book, this isn't including quests or chests or anything like that. This is assuming you've done it all. And it doesn't include the weekly resetting or the bi-weekly resetting Spiral, Moon, Spire thingy floors. So from daily commissions alone, it would take you a month to get to do a 10 pull for a guaranteed 4-star character or item. Now I've already said that it's 90 pulls for a guaranteed 5-star. So we do 27 times by 9, you know, 10 pull times 9, 243 days. So 8 months worth of daily commissions for a guaranteed 5-star character. 8 months. Again, I'll reiterate again, this doesn't include events, free Primogems given out for maintenance, anything like that. If we're talking end game, the only decent free Primo Gems come from the end game Spiral Abyss, you know, floor 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, according to one comment I saw somewhere on a PC Gamer or the Wiki, I can't remember where it was, they said that it works out at 600 Primo Gems every 2 weeks, which is 1,200 Primo Gems a month. So, even then, I consider, I mean, that's not even enough for a 10 pool. It sort of is if you include your daily Primo Gems from your daily commissions, so you're going to be able to possibly do, I mean, we're talking 400 Primo Gems here, so you're going to get about 15, maybe 15 to 20 pulls a month if you're able to constantly do the repeatable Spiral Abyss floors and you do your dailies every single day. So 2 4-star characters a month maximum if you're extremely efficient, or items, 4-star characters or items, and it would take you four and a bit months for a 5-star character. This is, you know, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. A 5-star character basically every 5-6 months. That's 2 5-star characters a year. Yeah, like, this is terrible. Hopefully they add in more events that give out free Primo Gems, and they continue to give out Primo Gems for maintenance and stupid little like special events like the Klee's letters and stuff. I really hope they continue to do that. Otherwise, this is BS, to be honest. Whew, we've been talking for a while, or I've been talking for a while, and you've been listening for a while. Although you've probably tuned out by now. But just going to go on to the very last 2 tiny little topics. So first thing I want to cover is characters. Having too many characters is a negative, not a positive. As I've said before, due to Resin being so restrictive and so expensive, it's impossible to have all your characters maxed out. You know, now the point of a gacha is to collect characters. But in Genshin, there's no point to collecting characters because you'll never be able to max them all out and use them all to their maximum benefit. So, it's a bit counterintuitive. Secondly, materials. There's no way of getting 5-star weapons through gameplay. You cannot craft them, you cannot get them from quests, you can't get them from domains, you can't do anything. You can't get 5-star weapons without investing in the gacha. Secondly, there's a very minimal list of 4-star weapons to craft. Yeah, there's 2 swords, 2 pikes, 2 claymores, 2 catalysts. And let's face it, out of the 2 of each set, only one's actually any good, or one's good, you know. Prototype Amulet easily beats the White Blind, although the White Blind can be used on Noelle, I still prefer to use the Prototype Amulet on my Noelle. You know, the Prototype Rancor, the Compound Bow, and the Crescent Pike, they're the best. We need more things to craft. You know, there's like 20 of each weapon 4-star in the game. Lion's Roar, Favonia's Sword, Skyrider Sword, you know, all of these that come from the gacha. I think they should be in the game. Whether through a boss, or random drop, or domain, or quest reward, or being able to craft them, there needs to be more. Lastly, lastly, yeah? I haven't added on here. Ley lines. And resources in general. The XP book leyline, the Blossom of Revelation, the fact that it only gives 3 purple books at AR 35 and I think it's 4 purple books at AR 40 is a joke. 10 purple books at AR 40. And that's being a bit restrictive on myself. I would quite easily say 15, but you know, that might be too easy then. But the rewards from that ley line should at least be doubled. You know, XP leyline should at least have double rewards. Or I'm going to change it. XP leyline, less green reward, more purple at AR 3540 plus. Oh, I didn't even put plus, but there we go. Now, secondly, the Mora ley line. I'm actually okay on the Mora ley line. It could be upped a little bit. It could be like 60k at AR 3540 rather than 44k, and then I think it goes up to 50k at AR 40. I think the Mora one's sort of okay, honestly. It could be upped, but it's sort of okay where it is. However, when it comes to Mora, if you're looking at the adventure book, the one where you've got like challenges to complete and you get a reward of Mora and 150 Primo Gems and a couple of artifacts. On chapter 8 or chapter 9 is a 45,000 Mora reward. Come on, these are challenges that are meant to last me from AR 35 to AR 40. And my reward is, yes, okay, it's a nice amount of Primo Gems. Although, of course, it's just slightly short of the 160 needed to make a wish. Because it only gives you 150. Nice. Nice little cheeky thing there. But you get 45k Mora. Like, these are challenges that have taken me 2 weeks between AR 35 and AR 40, for example. I get 45k Mora? I can get that from running a ley line in freaking 1 minute 30. Like, come on. 450k Mora. As a reward for completing all the challenges up to AR 40. 450k Mora. Like, come on. Whew. Right, okay. Can I think of anything else? Not really. And you're probably thinking, thank God. Thank God. So am I, to be honest, a little bit at this point. Anyway. There you have it. This was a very lengthy ramble about everything that I think's wrong with Genshin Impact, focusing on the Resin system, the Gacha system, and a couple of other little niggles. I hope a lot of people agree with me. I know people are going to say it's a gacha game, get over it, like what the hell, people have already spoken about this and whatever, but yeah, this is just my opinions as a bit more of a casual and less organised player. I know other people have run into the same issues I have. And I hope you found this enjoyable to an extent. I may or may not do any more Genshin content. You know, I'm not one to do regular content. So I doubt if this is even going to get seen, to be honest. But anyway, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you around.